You think you've played every Metroidvania? Yeah, me too. Until the Siege and the Sandfox dropped and reminded me there's still room for something fresh in a genre absolutely flooded with retro-inspired platformers. Welcome back to Veteran Game, the channel that digs past the surface and tells you if these hyped up indie darlings are actually worth your precious gaming hours. Before we slip into the shadows, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more bold takes and unsponsored honesty. Alright, let's get sly. So the Siege and the Sandfox. At first glance, it's got all the boxes checked. Handcrafted pixel art, atmospheric music, mysterious underground cities, and of course, the big old map waiting to be uncovered one new skill at a time. But within 5 minutes you realize this isn't your usual Metroidvania power fantasy. It's a stealth game. A real one. Your first instinct isn't to slash or blast your way through guards. It's to avoid them entirely or risk getting busted. Hard. Let's set the stage. You play as the Sandfox, a legendary protector framed for regicide in the ancient desert city of Kariman. After being stabbed in the heart and dumped into the dungeons, your mission isn't just survival. It's to claw your way back to the surface, clear your name, and maybe, just maybe, save your home from ruin. But forget becoming a one-fox army. Here you're more cat burglar than commando. Every room, every corridor, every shadow is a puzzle waiting for a clever solution. And this is where the Siege and the Sandfox makes its mark. There's no combat system to bail you out when things go wrong. You're not meant to win fights. If a guard sees you and they're not wearing a helmet, you might get a chance to blackjack them. If not, run, hide, or expect a swift trip back to your last checkpoint. Most of the time, you're sneaking past, using every tool and ability you find, lockpicking, wall running, gliding, and yes, classic hiding in a vase antics to avoid detection entirely. Honestly, it's a breath of fresh air. The platforming has a satisfying weight. Think old school Prince of Persia, not floaty Super Metroid. Jumping feels precise but grounded. Scaling a wall, vaulting a gap, dropping into a hidden passage, it all has a deliberate, almost athletic feel. If you're used to being an unstoppable juggernaut in your Metroidvanias, the Sandfox's cautious, almost vulnerable movement is a major switch up. You plan your routes, time your dashes, and get used to holding your breath as a lantern-bearing guard strolls just inches away. What really sells the experience, though, is the world building. Kariman's Underground is more than just a pretty background. It's alive with side characters, rival factions, weird little stories, and even some darkly comic moments. You might bring a rat back to a prisoner only to watch him eat it right in front of you, or help rig a dice game by setting up a mirror. No, these aren't 30-hour side quest chains, but each one adds personality and depth to a world that feels much bigger than the 8 hours you'll probably spend here. And the storytelling. There's only one voice, your narrator, who gives the whole game the vibe of a bedtime story gone wrong. Every action, from new abilities to major plot twists, gets woven into this almost storybook presentation. It's charming, occasionally chilling, and best of all, never overstays its welcome. If you hate cutscenes that drone on, relax. The Siege and the Sandfox keeps it snappy and focused, always pushing you to explore more. So what's the catch? Every clever idea comes with a few risks, and the Siege and the Sandfox isn't immune. First off, let's talk about the stealth. It's genuinely tense until it's not. The AI is inconsistent, sometimes brilliant, sometimes buggy. Guards might get stuck, fail to reset, or just plain lose interest if you wait them out. And since most encounters mean instant death, a few weird bugs or botched patterns can really kill the momentum. The checkpoints are generous, but replaying the same stealth section because a guard's pathfinding glitched out. That'll test your patience. And then there's the Metroidvania structure. On the surface, the map looks sprawling, but the truth is it's much more linear than it pretends. There's a lot of illusion of choice going on. You'll backtrack, sometimes a lot, and since most routes are choke points or scripted stealth gauntlets, running through old areas isn't exactly a joyride. Unlike a classic Metroid or Hollow Knight, exploration here can feel a bit forced, especially when stealth sections you cleared 20 minutes ago respawn guards and force you to tiptoe through all over again. At times it's less wow, what will I discover next, and more, do I really have to sneak past this guy again? Let's not skip the platforming either. For the most part, it feels great running, jumping, climbing, sliding. But when the game demands precision, especially with drop-off ledges or tricky wall slides, the controls can get a little finicky. There's no dedicated drop button, so you'll occasionally miss a jump just because the game didn't quite read your intent. Not a deal breaker, but it's enough to break your flow if you're not patient. Now, I can't talk about the Siege and the Sandfox without hyping up its atmosphere. The pixel art is gorgeous, lush, detailed, and bursting with color, but never overwhelming. The music, straight up beautiful. You'll get sweeping desert tunes, tense underground motifs, and quiet, emotional piano tracks in just the right moments. And audio design in general, top notch. Even though there's only one voice actor, the narration and character voices are so well performed that it gives the game a unique personality most indies just dream of. So let's hit the verdict. Is the Siege and the Sandfox perfect? Nope. But is it memorable? Absolutely. For every frustrating stealth section or awkward backtracking loop, you get a moment of real discovery, a clever puzzle, or a piece of world building that sticks with you long after you put the game down. It's one of those rare indie games that dares to try something different, even if it means stumbling here and there. If you're a Metroidvania purist who wants open maps, big combat, and endless upgrades, you might find Sandfox a little too restrained. But if you're craving something new, something that challenges your patience, rewards careful planning, and offers an atmosphere you won't find anywhere else, it's absolutely worth your time. For the price, it's an easy recommendation, especially if you're tired of Metroidvanias that all start to blend together after a while. At the end of the day, The Siege and the Sandfox feels like a love letter to stealth, to Arabian Nights adventure, and to everyone who ever wanted to be the hero that doesn't solve problems with a sword. It's not perfect, but it's proud of what it is. And in 2025, that's honestly worth celebrating. So have you played The Siege and the Sandfox? Are you a fan of stealthy platformers, or do you wish the fox packed more of a punch? Drop your thoughts below, and if you want more unsponsored indie deep dives, subscribe to Veteran Game. Until next time, keep sneaking, keep exploring, and never trust a queen with a grudge.